me ask you bluntly, in your eyes, was the visit a failure?
Well, it might serve some political optics in favor of the party, so that the Honorable Prime Minister can claim that he had visited the state. But as far as addressing the core issues or engaging with the issues are concerned, I think it was not what was expected. It was disappointing, yes.
A naked man has little to no influence on society. In clothes like this, you step out and you know that you're going to turn heads. You know that you're going to create an impression of a person who cares deeply about the way they look and has a finer eye for detail. And, that seems to be the Bombay Shirt Company way. What I really love about these clothes, and I really mean this, is this looks like a man has walked into the room. I like that. It's nice.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.
Hello and welcome to a special interview for The Wire. More than 28 months after the crisis in Manipur first flared up in May 2023, Prime Minister Modi visited the state on Saturday. It was a widely anticipated visit, but has it lived up to expectations? Has it made a difference to the divisions between the Meitei and Kuki communities, or has it failed and disappointed? Those are the key issues I should raise today with BJP MLA Paolienlal Haokip. Mr. Haokip joins us from his constituency in Churachandpur. Mr. Haokip, as I said in the introduction, more than 28 months after the crisis in Manipur first flared up in May 2023, the Prime Minister has at last visited Manipur. He was there on Saturday. How do you view the visit?
Well, Karan, it's been a while, and thank you for having me on your show today. Quite frankly, we were happily anticipating the visit of the Honorable Prime Minister. And we had sought through the Honorable Governor, at least 10 minutes of the Prime Minister's time to be able to, register the anguish, the pain, the hopes and the aspirations of the people that we represent. But when that was not granted, honestly, we felt a little disappointed. And the people also felt hugely disappointed because our Prime Minister is not willing to meet their representatives, at least for 10 minutes. Well, it is good that he came and he consoled those people in the IDP camps. That was a healing gesture. We appreciate that aspect of it. But honestly, it felt short of what we were anticipating and what we had expected.
You're not just an MLA from Manipur. You're also a member of the Prime Minister's party, the Bharatiya Janata Party. You're telling me that he refused to meet his own BJP MLAs.
That's the reality, and that's the sad part of it. And honestly, we felt within the party also, I mean, along with my other colleagues in the BJP, that if not all the MLAs, that our Prime Minister, being from a party, would at least hear us. But that was not to be. I don't know if it was the decision of the Honorable Prime Minister or was it managed by somebody else. But the sum total of it is we were a little disappointed, yes, Karan.
You were disappointed. You're saying that openly.
What's so secretive about that? We wanted to meet our Prime Minister to express the grievances of our people, their hopes and aspirations. And when your Prime Minister from your own party cannot give you even 10 minutes of his time, having come all the way to your state and to your district, won't you be disappointed, Karan?
Now, when the Prime Minister visited your constituency, your district, Churachandpur, he announced several development projects. By some count, it's put at 19, worth nearly 8,000 crore. Was that what was needed? Is that what you were hoping for? Or was that not what you wanted?
No, Karan, I cannot say we don't want any economic package, but at this juncture, in this times of turmoil and political discontent, that definitely is not the most important thing, and that is not on top of our priorities. That is not on the top of our expectations from our Honorable Prime Minister. What we expected was for him to engage with the people, the representatives, the civil society organizations, hear their perspectives, and think about it and come up with a roadmap for restoring the administration in the hills, some kind of semblance of governance in the entire state, and a way forward, a political way forward. If not right on the spot, we expected him at least to hear us out, but that was not to be, sadly.
None of the things that you say you expected the Prime Minister to do, did he actually do? That's the truth, isn't it?
That did not happen, Karan.
Did he meet with civil society organizations? Did he meet with NGOs? I know he met with some internally displaced people, but what about the NGOs? What about the cookie groups? What about the civil society organizations?
No other meetings happened, Karan. And that is why everybody is, the visit fell short of the expectations. Let me put it this way.
The Prime Minister, both when he was speaking in Churachandpur and again when he was speaking in Imphal from the Kangla fort, spoke a lot about amity and goodwill. But has his visit provided a healing touch between the sharply divided Kuki and Maite communities? Do you sense that it will make a difference? Has it been a step forward? Or was it, how should I put it, pointless?
Karan, for amity, for, peace, you need justice, you need resolution of conflict. And for resolution of conflict, you need to hear the people. When you don't hear the people and decide from Delhi, I think it's not going to help. And one of the most disappointing aspect of this visit was that he did not meet neither the representatives, the elected representatives, nor the CSO leadership, who since more than 2.5 years have been wanting to express, the point of view, the suggestions, the anguish of the people before the Honorable Prime Minister. But since that could not happen, I think we'll have to be content with what was offered. And again, let me re-emphasize this. No amount of economic package will bring back normalcy. No amount of hollow rhetoric can restore peace and justice and re-establish normalcy. It is a political problem, it needs a political resolution, and we have sought, even though we could not meet him, the 10 cookies of MLAs have written to the Honorable Prime Minister, appealing him to expedite the political settlement, which we believe is the only way forward for restoring peace, justice, and normalcy in the region.
Let me quote what you said. No amount of hollow rhetoric can restore peace and justice. Do you think the Prime Minister's speeches were just hollow rhetoric?
I mean, in the context of the conflict, he had spoken nothing, merely preaching that we should usher in peace. It's not going to bring peace, Karan. For peace to come, you need to ensure justice, accountability, and if there is a political problem, give it a political solution. You don't solve political problems through economic packages or through security measures. You talk with your people and address their political concerns. You know very well, Karan, what happened, what transpired in Manipur. A section of the citizens, merely because they are of a particular ethnicity, were cleansed totally from the capital region of a state, cleansed totally, and that too with state complicity. And now we have, on the other hand, the tapes wherein the then chief minister had admitted his role in the ethnic cleansing, and the case kept on being delayed in the Supreme Court. Even the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, is getting irritated. Now, is that accountability? Is that the path to justice? Will that bring about peace? I don't think so, Karan.
You would have wanted the Prime Minister in some shape and form to tackle these issues or at least to talk about these issues, but he failed to do so.
Yes. We would have loved the Prime Minister, if not an outright solution, listen to the grievances of the people, the hopes of the people, the aspirations of the people. He did not do that. That's what disappointed the people.
Tell me something, did he shy away from doing these? Or was he badly advised by his civil servants and advisors? Which of the two?
That was what I was asking you earlier on. I have no answers to that, Karan.
What do you suspect is the answer?
Let's not speculate, Karan, because I don't want to talk on things I don't know for certain.
But these are clearly issues the Prime Minister must know about. He's been living in this country, he's been running this country right through the 28 months since the Manipur crisis happened. He can't be unaware of them. So if he didn't raise them, it must be because he chose not to do so.
That is your opinion. And I can neither subscribe to that nor reject that.
Tell me something. Let's focus for a moment on the development projects he announced worth nearly 8,000 crore. Were these new projects or have they been in the pipeline for a while?
These were projects that were always in the pipeline. These are not new packages that have been announced because of the troubles in the state. And interestingly enough, of the projects that is announced also, the bulk of it, more than 85% of it, was for the valley. And the hills got pittance of whatever was announced. And such kind of bias in allocation of resources uh, unwillingness of the majority community in the state to share power and resources is at the root of the current crisis. It merely does not start with the High Court saying something about the demand for scheduled tribe for the majority community. It is deep rooted. It is political injustice and it needs political solution for the country, especially this part of the country, to experience peace, progress, and development looking forward.
Are you saying that, in fact, what you call the unbalanced division or allocation of the new projects will add to the problem? The cookie areas got a pittance, the majority went to the Meitei in the valley. Is that going to add to the perception of the problem?
It is not only adding to the problem, but it reflects the bias, the inequity that has been suffered by the hills for more than 50 years now, Karan.
Tell me something. What was the response the Prime Minister got from your own community, the Kuki people? I know, as you pointed out, he refused to meet your legislators' brothers and yourself. As you pointed out, he refused to meet NGOs and civil society organizations. So, what was the response he got from the Kuki people?
That's where the that's where I say the speech delivered by Donald Prime Minister was hollow. Where when it comes to messaging the people that were affected by the conflict, or messaging to the state as a whole, because what we are expecting is a political direction, a sort of roadmap where justice can be ensured, lives can be protected. There is nothing to look forward to except for, the inequitable economic packages that were announced.
One of the key demands of the Kuki community, one voiced very eloquently by yourself and your fellow Kuki legislators, many of whom are members of the BJP, is a demand for union territory status with the legislature. The Prime Minister said absolutely nothing about that. But on this specific issue, were you disappointed, or can you accept that it would be too difficult for him to talk about it in public?
Well, honestly, Karan, we cannot expect the Honorable Prime Minister to talk about whether he is in favor or against a political demand in public at this stage. We didn't expect that. But, like I said earlier, the least we expected was for him to interact with the leadership here, to hear the rationale that we have for our demands. We didn't expect him to right away, with the click of a finger, grant us our political demands. But he needs to, we feel, needs to listen to the rationale behind it. We are not just demanding the division of the state out of, a sense of exclusivism. It is a political necessity for the survival of a people who have been discriminated against for the past 50 odd years. And what is the harm in giving a section of the citizens of India the rightful due under the Constitution so that they can grow alongside the rest of the nation, Karan? What is so taboo about the integrity of one state that you're ready to deprive another section within that state who are being, treated like colonial subjects?
And you wanted a chance to explain this to the PM. As you said, you didn't expect him to publicly announce a decision either way, but you expected him to take the opportunity to try and understand from the Kuki people why this is so important to them. That chance to speak to him, that chance to explain to him never happened.
Never happened, Karan.
So let me ask you bluntly, in your eyes, was the visit a failure?
Well, it might serve some political optics in favor of the party, so that the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, can claim that he had visited the state. But as far as addressing the core issues or engaging with the issues are concerned, I think it was not what was expected. It was disappointing, yes.
You used the word disappointing 3-4 times. Would you go so far as failure?
Well, failure can be determined only on the basis of the objectives that were decided before something is, taken on. If the objective of the visit was to announce and inaugurate projects, then it was a success. But what we expected was that he would address the problem that has been facing the state for more than 2 years.
And that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
And therefore it was a failure.
Well, if that was not on the agenda of his visit, it cannot be called a failure, but it failed expectations. Yes, it did.
It failed expectations. Is that right? It failed expectations.
Yes.
Mr. Haokip, thank you very much for talking to me. Thank you very much for so candidly sharing your response, your concerns, and your candid view. You have repeatedly said the visit was disappointing, and you added right at the end, it failed expectations. Thank you very much indeed. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.
A naked man has little to no influence on society. In clothes like this, you step out and you know that you're going to turn heads. You know that you're going to create an impression of a person who cares deeply about the way they look and has a finer eye for detail. And, that seems to be the Bombay Shirt Company way. What I really love about these clothes, and I really mean this, is this looks like a man has walked into the room. I like that. It's nice.